in case. Okay, so I'm sorry about how the situation happens. And then yeah, today actually the school says that okay, so we don't need to have a class, but however, I'd better to have a class because that we need to catch up together. Anyway, so don't worry, okay? This is an expected situation. You know that you know that a wise rabbit prepared at least 3 caves. Okay. Oh, we had the 1 cave, and now we have a 2nd cave. However, I have 1 more cave. Don't worry. This is expected. Okay. So this situation is unavoidable. So however, situation can happen, the phenomena can happen, any kinds of things can happen. However, we do better to be more strategy. Okay, we do better to be strategy, scenario, best scenario, worst scenario, and expected scenario. Okay, that's the reason why we are learning about a strategy management as well. So don't worry, we go forward. We go forward in any situation. Okay, we go forward any situation. Okay, good. Anyway, so let's start. Yeah, we tapped around that the histories of the management, history of management. We started with the history of the invention of the modern management. Modern management was invented by a person. Who is the father of the modern scientific management? Do you remember? Yeah. Yeah. Who is the father of the scientific management, modern management, scientific management? Who wrote the book of the principles of the scientific management? Wow, right. Yeah. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Who wrote who was the father of the scientific management? Frederick Winslow Taylor. Thank you, Casey. I love you. Okay. Absolutely. Frederick Winslow Taylor invented, purposefully applied mathematical something into the management, and he defined that as scientific management because he dealt with numbers. Simply, around 120 years ago, Frederick Winslow Taylor convert all the human activities in a business into the number. How? Simple. Okay, simple. He just bring the stopwatch. And he measured the time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds. So he convert all the human activities into number like time, seconds, something. Then he managed it. He managed only that number. Okay. Technically speaking, he convert all humans into number to control, to manage. Absolutely. Thanks to that kinds of the activities of the managing the numbers. Okay. Capitalist, business guys, business owners, we could make a lot of money because we can improve our productivity throughout managing that numbers. Okay. But however, we business treat the numbers. What does that mean? That means we treat people like numbers. Capitalist, business guys, in order to make more money, we treat the people like numbers, slave, machines. If you do not work hard, if you do not work well, get out. Okay, so Due to that kinds of the brutal approach, dehumanization problem, we call that is a dehumanization problem. Okay, so yeah, kill the human nature and just number. Then dehumanization problem raised the problem of the social revolution, revolutionaries, chaos, unions, because we need to fight. When somebody comes to me and then he treat me like a numbers, you are nothing but numbers. I will fight. Nay, that is our nature because we are human being, human dignity, human right. Absolutely. Okay, so then that's the reason why we have revolution, social revolution, or the humanistic revolution, or and then a few number of the scholars, business scholars, bring a very simple idea. What will happen if we treat the people like human being? What will happen if we treat people like our family member? What will happen if we take care of our employees? When we treat our people like a family member, when we treat our people like human beings, when we treat nicely, people work better, or people just betray you. Humanistic management comes because Elton Mayo and his colleagues, Harvard colleagues, could find out if a company, if a business treat people better, they could make more money. Possible? Yes, possible. Because that kinds of the taking care of people motivate people, encourage people, make people engage in work. Because as a family member, I take care of my business too. If you treat me like a family member, absolutely, I will return my loyalty. Oh, your business is my business because we are family. Then I need to work. I need to work hard. That's my business. That's our family business. That is the reason why when we treat our people better as a family member, okay, so they work better. Reasonable? Oh, absolutely. However, theory X-based scientific management is necessary, especially in the crisis like this. Okay. Unfortunately, I had no chance to ask about your opinion. Oh, we need to go to the remote class or this kind of online something, and shall we shut down our campus? Oh, what will happen if I ask that? Oh, maybe, probably, somebody will be happy and somebody will be unhappy, and we could not make a decision. In that case, chaos, no control. However, somebody need to make a decision. Even though that is not democratic, and even though that is a violation of the human right, it can be the best choice if we have a certain specific critical situation. I'm sorry, but that's how we need to do in a certain situation. Okay, because we want to solve this problem. We want to solve this problem. Okay, I'm sorry. However, in the normal operation, nothing is happening, and everybody must engage. Everybody can do whatever they want. Okay, and what will happen if somebody comes to you just to work? Oh, work, yeah, work for me. Yeah, I will. Yeah. Do you want to work? Do you want to work for those people? Bullshit. No, never, ever. I will not work for you. that is now happening around the world. We are now having the great resignation problem. Even though we offer a job, even though we offer some kind of a task like a truck driving, okay, supply chains, okay, truck drivers, old truck drivers, they do not come back to work. They do not come back to work. Why? Because my money, the truck companies, logistics, supply chain companies, supply chain businesses, they do not treat like a family member. They just use them. Really, that's the reason why the truck drivers, if you treat me like that, okay, I have no reason to work for you. I'd better to stay at home with my family. That's a life and death problem. If I have to work in that working conditions, okay, I may lose my life because there is a risk of taking the coronavirus because they travel a lot and they work in a very poor condition. There is a high risk of taking the COVID-19. What will happen if they take the COVID-19? Oh, they have no chance to get treated. In the normal operation, in a certain situation, absolutely, sometimes we need to treat our people better. Controlling, if a very strong control is necessary, we can do it. If we have a chance to treat our people like our family members, absolutely we will do it. Why? Because we want to make money. Okay, that was that. That was a two big paradigm. Theory X, theory Y. Treat people like numbers, treat people like human beings, family member. Which one is better? Which one is worse? No, we need both. We need both. Absolutely, we need both. Okay, we must be able to use both tools. Now, okay, we talked a little about it, the strategy management. Strategy management. Something was happened after the World War II. Who won over the World War II? US, China, Soviet, Russia. Okay. Then, however, they win over the Germany, Japan, and Italy. Good. However, what happened in the 1980s and 90s? Germans comes to the global market. Japanese comes to the global market. Italy comes to the global market, and they started dominating the global business. Japan conquered the US. Germany conquered the US market by using their BMW, Bosch, Audi, Italy, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Japan, Sony, Panasonic, Sony computer, Sony PlayStation, absolutely. In business, okay, those losers at the World War II, they took over the authority, they took over the market, they win over the business world in 1980s and 90s. So a few number of the American scholars, American business guys, they wanted to win over their enemy again, not only in the military operation, but also in business operation. In business is war. I think business is a war. We are warrior. If we lose, we will lose everything. If we lose our money, we will lose almost everything. Really. Okay. So we business professionals, we business problem solvers, we are warriors in the business world. However, in 1980s and the 90s, American businesses were defeated and lost the war to Germany, Japan, Italy. So then Michael Porter, the Harvard business professor, he and his colleagues wanted to resolve this problem. How allies, U.S., Japan, U.S., China, and the allies could win over those enemies again in the business war. They consulted with the military leaders, and the military leaders shared a small book. The book name was Art of War. Art of War. What is Art of War? 孙子兵法. Where the 孙子兵法 was written? Who wrote that? 孙子. Where he wrote that book? Where he wrote that book? Anybody know that? Yeah. Jerry. Why? Where he wrote the book? Very Kylie, Huang Yushu, Hectic, who is iPhone? Who is iPhone? Anyway, okay. Yeah, this is the problem of the remote. Oh, I just talk and you do not respond. Yeah, whatever. Okay, good. Yeah, but however, we will go back soon. Anyway, so Sun Tzu, he actually come from the Shandong area, okay? And however, he worked for the Wu nation, and yeah, he helped the Wu nation to defeat that the large country of the Chu, at that time, around 2,500 years ago, okay? In where? 저장 area, Hangzhou, Ningbo, Shanghai. In that area, and probably Wenzhou was a part of it. Whatever. He wrote a book near to the Zhejiang area, northern Zhejiang area. Okay, and he summarized his idea how to win. Okay. The strategy is nothing but, however, in the war, we use a strategy to win over the enemy. That's the purpose of the book. However, Sun Tzu Bingpa gives us a totally different purpose. What is the purpose of that book? What is the purpose of strategy for in the Sun Tzu Bingpa, the art of war? That is really great wisdom of the human race. What is the purpose of the Sun Tzu Bingpa, art of war? What is the purpose of strategy according to Sun Tzu? That is simply win without fighting. That is the main purpose of that book. That is the main purpose of the Sun Tzu Bingpa, okay, art of war. According to the Sun Tzu Bingpa, okay, we can win without fighting. That is the purpose of that book. Okay, then what kinds of strategy or what kinds of things are necessary to win without fighting? 5 elements, 5 factors, 5 elements, 5 things are necessary according to Sun Tzu. Okay, what are those 5? What are those 5? Yeah, I cannot write the Chinese. Yeah, how can I write in Chinese? Yeah, I don't know. But however, okay, somebody can help me. Yeah, please. Yeah, type in Dao 도천지장법. Yeah, 5. 도천지장법. Yeah. 道天地장法. Okay, somebody can. Yeah, thank you, Rena, thank you, Rosie. Yeah, that is that. 도천지장법. Okay, and thank you. Okay, 도천지장법. Okay, 道天地장법. Okay, and Michael Porter, yeah, he's a stupid American. He do not understand what is that. What is Tao? Can you explain the what is Tao? What is Tao? Can you explain that? Somebody can explain that? No, because if we can explain the Tao, Tao is not a Tao. As Tao Te Ching, the first, 도가 도면 피상도라. 도, if we can say Tao, okay, that is not Tao. Okay, so probably we need a higher form of knowing, okay, not knowledge, okay. We need to have a higher form of knowing, wisdom, insight, better understandings, awakening something, okay, that is not clearly described or explained, but you can feel it. Okay, when you hear the Tao, maybe you have some understanding, you have some good feeling, something. Absolutely, you cannot explain that. But however, that is a problem of the feeling. That is an insight. That is a wisdom. That is awakening. However, we need to conceptualize to use it. That's a knowledge level something. So Michael Porter convert those kind of wisdom into the working knowledge. And he conceptualized those 5 elements, Dao, Dian, Di, Zhang, Ba, as just a simple one word of English, one word. What is that word? He conceptualized that as competitive advantage. Competitive advantage. Competitive advantage. Okay, so according to the definition of the Michael Porter, okay, simple. Strategy management is nothing but creating and sustaining the competitive advantage. For what? In order to win over our competitors without fighting. Got it? So that's the purpose of the strategy management. That's the purpose of the strategy management in 1980s, 90s, and the early 20s, 21st century. Still, that's going on. And that kinds of the strategy management application fundamentally changed the American business model. One of the best example of the strategy management is Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley started to produce that software and IT something, especially for the software. Before, software was nothing, but however, the hardware was dominated. Okay, but however, the software was nothing, but Michael Porter and the strategists fundamentally changed the way of doing. What if we can develop the software and then we can sell the software? However, for example, because we can easily copy the software, and then at the time, nobody thought that we need to buy the software. Really? Do you buy your software? How many of you buy the software? Probably very little. Okay, like that. Software is just a free something at that time. But business strategists at the US, they applied patent, something, intellectual property law, and they started to sell those software in a little bit different way. So they opened a new business model, software business. Possible? Why not? And at that time, is there any competitors? Japanese, Germans, Italy's? They are good at those kind of the new business model like a software selling? No. So now we passed that to 20 years. After 20 or 30 years later, what is now happening? What is the biggest company in the world? Apple. Second largest, Aramco in the Saudi Arabia, but something else. Who is the third largest company, fourth largest company, fifth largest company? Out of the top 10 biggest company in the world, 7 are American software companies. Because they changed the strategy. They totally fundamentally changed the way of thinking, and they fundamentally changed the game. They won over Japanese, Germans, Italy's without fighting. Really, that was happened in the 80s and 90s. And now we are now living in that kinds of the American business dominating era. However, many other countries are coming. Every day, we use our brain to apply our strategy to win over our competitors. Okay. We need to be good at. Do you want to lose? Do you want to win? Absolutely, everybody wants to win, because if we lose many things. We lose people, we lose money, we lose everything. I don't want to lose that. I want to win. I love to win. Yeah. In order to win, we must be smart. However, how we can be smart? Just work hard? No. Just to simply work hard doesn't guarantee you're winning. No. We must be smart. We must know how to win. 5 elements. Oh, what is Tao? What is Tao? Moral influence, morality, trust, probably. Tian, environment, situation. D, terrain, natural resource. How we can use that? Zhang, okay, manager, leader, operations. Are rules, norms, intangible knowledge, knowledge sharing, behavior, organizational capability. Do we have that? Can you increase that kinds of the competitive advantage? I hope so. In order to do that, in order to win without fighting, we need to have those kind of the competitive advantage. 5 elements. Okay, that's the reason why we are learning about the strategy management. We will go forward. Don't worry, we will go forward. We'll go forward. Okay, so strategy management was flourishing in 1990s, early 21st century. However, in that time, we got the technology, okay, especially for the IT technology, ICT technology. What is the IT? Information technology, information, okay, knowledge, data, information to knowledge to wisdom to, I don't know. Data, information, knowledge, wisdom. Okay, we need to have that. Okay, so thanks to those kind of the technology, we can access to many data, information, knowledge. Or okay, however, converting those kind of the knowledge, data, something into the taxing knowledge or the understanding or wisdom is totally different story. We need that kinds of things. We need a higher form of the knowing. Yeah, if you want to find out how to develop the rocket something, okay, nuclear weapon, go to internet. Internet shows that every data, knowledge, information. However, can you make that weapon? No, that's a totally different story because we need a taxing knowledge and we need a wisdom. Okay, so that is happened in the 1990s and the 21st century. Knowledge, especially based on the information technology. Okay, so management by technology happened. And in 1990s, another wave of the globalization was started because in 1989, Berlin Wall collapsed. No war between the East Germany and the West Germany. East Germany from the communist something, West Germany, yeah, the capitalistic something. What? And after the 1989, no. We have a global economy. Every countries, every communities are connected with almost every communities in the world. We cannot live alone. I'm sorry, but however, we cannot live alone now. Before the 1989, two groups we had. One group is communist group and one other group is another capitalist group. Okay. However, anybody think about okay, so we still compete with each other. We still compete with each other. But actually, in the business understandings, no, we work together. We are highly linked with it together. Okay. For example, iPhone. Who developed the iPhone? Who are the owner of the iPhone? Who is the company of this iPhone? Apple. American company? Do you think that Apple is an American company? Because that is headquartered in the California, Silicon Valley. However, where this iPhone is producing, 100% this iPhone is manufactured, assembled in China. Without China, American businesses, world largest business like Apple can survive, can operate their business? No. Do you have any example of the, okay, so some business is totally domestic something? No. Even a small restaurant in China, do you think that a small restaurant in China, they are surviving thanks to the only Chinese domestic product? No. They need a pork. How we can raise the pork with that price? We import a lot of corns. We import a lot of beans from the US, from Ukraine. Without the supply of the crops for the pork, we cannot have the pork. Everything is interconnected. Business. We make that happen because we want to decrease cost. Business. We don't have a barrier now. We don't have any borderlines. If there is any opportunity to make a business, we can go almost everywhere. Really. Okay. Absolutely, we can go almost everywhere. Sure. So then 1990s, we had technology innovation or technology applications, and we had a global economy. We are highly interconnected now. Is it a problem? I don't know. That's not a problem. Oh, that's just happening. That's a situation. Okay, good. And now we are experiencing the more complex situation. Okay, we had the 911 in 2002. 911. After the 911, many businesses was totally collapsed. Who do not use the internet? Really? So that is the reason why a lot of companies fundamentally transformed their business model from the traditional something to the IT, because at the 911 prohibited all the travels. Okay, good. Now we have a pandemic situation. Travel, international travels are highly restricted. Okay, good. So then we may need another different styles of the problem solving. Absolutely. Whatever. And that kinds of things is summarized in here. And recently we are talking more about it, the artificial intelligence in 2010s. Okay, we developed the AlphaGo, AlphaGo. England, actually that is merged by the Google now. However, AlphaGo, artificial intelligence is now working. That's fundamentally changing our business model. We think so. We think so. Okay. Really? Oh, we will see. And nowadays, anybody talks about it, the metaverse. Metaverse and NFT, blockchain, technology, Bitcoin. Do you have any Bitcoin? Is there anybody who are investing in the cryptocurrency? Why not? If we can make money, we will do whatever we can do. Okay. Many things are now changing. Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, working, not working. You don't believe in? Why not? Do you believe in gold? Do you believe in money? Do you believe in currency? Do you believe in what? We need to think of that. We need to have a strategy how to use those kind of the situation. Okay, so these are the summarizing here. First, nowadays, okay, so far, management, especially for the scientific management, okay, modern management was coined by Frederick Winslow Taylor in 1890s, 1990s, 1910s, okay, around 120 years ago, by using number, science, science, number, okay, number. However, they make a trouble, dehumanization problem, okay? When we treat the people like the numbers, people were unhappy, okay? We fight, God. We fight and we made a revolution. And capitalist business changed our paradigm. We do better to treat our people like a family member. We do better to provide the basic income. We do better to provide the basic, the family connections, something, take caregiving, basic health care, something. Okay, good. And the quality management, knowledge management was quite successful in Germany, Japan, Italy. That is the reason why they could build competitive advantage. Those quality, high quality competitive advantage make Germany, Japan, and Italy win over the competitor, allies, US, China, Russia. Okay. American business was unhappy, and that is the reason why they bring wisdom from the ancient China. Art of War. 孙子兵法. Michael Porter and Harvard Business School conceptualized that as strategy management. Thanks to the strategy management, strategy consulting business, okay, we could totally fund American businesses could fundamentally change their business models from the traditional manufacturing or quality something into the software, creativity, and IT. They sell knowledge, not product. Oh, yeah, maybe we can talk about the IBM case. IBM was the largest computer maker, okay? And however, the IBM has any computer maker? No. They sold their computer making devices division to Lenovo. Oh, Chinese company, Lenovo, okay? And Harvard, what the IBM is now doing? Do you know? Can you guess? Lenovo produced that the computer. You know, I know. But however, what IBM is now doing? They produce any product? No. IBM defines themselves. IBM defines itself as best business solution provider. What solution? Especially for the financial management solution. Bank solution, money solution. Do you know that the Bank of China used the IBM framework, IBM machine? If we do not have an IBM, we cannot transfer our money from China to US, China to somewhere, China to Russia, China to Europe, China to Germany, China to India, because IBM make a fundamental framework, backbone of the money transaction. Oh, that's a fundamental different way of doing strategy. That happened at the IBM. So strategy was happened, and the technology, globalization, we had artificial intelligence, talent development, 911 happened. Now we have a pandemic situation and war. Do you know that the Russia is now invading the Ukraine, and the Russia-Ukraine has a war now, and what will be happening on our business? I don't know. Nobody knows. Okay. However, one thing is clear. For business guys, this can be the best opportunity to make more money. I'm sorry, but Robert, I'm not a politician. You are not a politician. I don't care about that. The tensions between what can I do? So yeah, even though hey, Putin, stop the war. Is it working? Hey, Ukraine, yeah, just do not cooperate with the NATO. Working? I'm sorry. I'm humble. I'm humble business. I'm humble former stupid engineer. What can I do? However, in this given condition, in this business situation, I want to make my money because I love money. Business, we should be able to make money in any situation through problem solving. Please think about it. What is the biggest problem now in this situation? What is the most important contemporary issues? Okay. And probably that will be the first homework for you. Next week, I will guide you. Next week, okay, I will give you the first homework. Okay, please write a 1 page of the essay. What is the most important and the contemporary issues in business, and how you can, what do you think about it? Why do you think that is most important? Okay, I will give you a template, okay, and I will guide you how to write that essay. How many pages do you need to write? 1 page. If you let me have more than 2 pages, torture. Yeah, great. Yeah. business, 1 page. I need only 1 page. Okay, good. That is the short histories of modern management. Okay, and then we are going to more detail about it, the management and the strategy management. Okay, let's go. And here there is a short histories of the strategy. Strategy, we have long history because in our human race, okay, since our emergence as a human race, we fight. Still, we have a war. We fight continually. That is the reason why we use our strategy. Absolutely. Okay. Egyptian era, Sun Tzu, Bingpa, Napoleon. Absolutely. And then we started to talk about the Industrial Revolution 2. Industrial Revolution 1 was occurred in the Scotland in UK. Why? Because we want to replace the human power or the horsepower with the machine. Okay, whatever. First Industrial Revolution and Second Industrial Revolution was occurred in New York, New Jersey, northeast of US. US. Okay. Ford T model. Okay, T model was happened. And conveyor belt system. Charlie Chaplin. They produced that kinds of the car product. Frederick Winslow Taylor support those kind of ideas. Okay, and yeah, you can read this kind of the short history of the strategy. Okay, a long story short, we use our brain to win without fighting. That is we call strategy. Okay. Probably nowadays I am proposing this different strategy for our managers, for our business professionals. Okay, maybe you can see that. Okay, and I am proposing a totally different managerial or the management paradigm from command and control to the listen to lead. Okay, that is my strategy suggestion for our people who is under the COVID-19 situation, who operate the business under the pandemic situation. We may need a different way of doing. Okay, so I am proposing that the command and control. No, please don't do that. Listen and lead, please. Okay, good. And yeah, we will talk about this later. And then we have a schedule. Okay, later we will see. I don't know. Nobody knows. However, we will see. Now, shift to the gear. Okay, what is the definition of the management? Okay, so in order to understand that the strategy management, okay, we'd better to start with the management, because strategy management is a small part of the management. Under the name of the management, we have, for example, strategy management is one thing, operations management, human resource management, financial management is different. Okay, financial, okay, and many different organizational management, leadership management, and the not scientific management. Okay, and on the supply chain management, marketing management. We have many management. Okay, strategy management is just a small part of that. Okay, good. So then we'd better to start with what is the definition of the management? What is the definition of the management? What do you think about the management? Okay, here, I didn't give you the answer of the management definition because I need to tell. Management. Who do the management? Manager. Okay, anybody misunderstand? Somebody pretend they are managing something. Oh, no. Management can be done by managers. Managers. What managers are doing? Managers get things done through other people. and money. Managers achieve goals through and by using their money and people. Okay, managers manage money, managers manage people in order to get things done. Okay, that is a basic function, basic role of the manager. Okay, and maybe if you remember the MGS 2030 principles of management, there must be the 4 functions of the management. 4 functions. Can you say the 4 functions of the management? You have answer. What is the 4 functions of the management? Can you write it down? Mandy, are you listening? Thank you. Yana, thank you. Okay. So there is the answer. The management functions we have 4. Okay. That is POLC, planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. Okay. Planning is related with the strategy management. Strategy. Okay. Plan. Before doing something, we use our brain to make a plan. Okay, plan many times, strategy, organizing operation, leading human resource, okay, whatever, controlling. Who controls the something what? Okay, control. Many times controlling is related with managing money. Controlling department is almost interchangeably have a same name with finance, accounting. Finance, accounting guys do controlling job. Oh, sure, that's your job, controlling. Who controls? Who control what? Okay, money control, money control. Okay, whatever. Management has 4 functions: planning, organizing, leading, controlling. Good. However, why? Why? What is the purpose of performing this kind of the functions? 4 functions: planning, organizing, leading, controlling. Why managers do this kind of functions? Why? Oh, purpose. Okay, so here is my personal definition of the management. Management is a process of getting things done effectively and efficiently through by money and people. This is the definition. My definition. Okay, so there are tons of thousands different definitions of the management. But however, this is my personal definition. Oh, that's Dr. Jerry Choi's definition. And I conceptualize this kind of the management definitions from my experiences and from my literatures and from my understandings. I believe that. I believe management is a process. Management is not just a one-shot intervention. And somebody say, okay, so yeah, go to their work and do it. Nothing? No, something will not happen. Because we must do it again, monitor it again, and then take action again until we can get things done. That's that's eternal and that's continual process. Management is not just one-shot intervention. Just to say something. No, that's not a management. That's order. Order, just to give an order is not a management. Management is continual process. Do it again, until we can complete that process. And what is the purpose of the management? We want to get things done, no matter what, okay? I want to get things done. I want to complete my task. I want to make something better. I want to get things done. What kinds of things? Oh, it depends. However, that is related with effectively and efficiently. Effectiveness, effective, and efficiently. Okay, so I want to make that happen efficiently. Anybody talks about it, the efficiency. Efficiency is related with the operation management. Operation. If you get things done right, okay, that is we call efficiency. Get things right is efficiency. If you follow the manual, you can get things done efficiently. Manual, okay? If you follow the rule, maybe you can get things done efficiently. You can get things done right. Okay? That's the efficiency. However, we need to think of this. That is efficiency. Get the right thing or do, okay, effectiveness. Get the right thing. Why do you do that? Why I need to get that things done? Is it necessary? Is it meaningful? Is it rewarding? Think of that. Whenever you do something, please think why. Efficiency is you relate, okay? Efficiency is related with the knowledge of know how. Okay. However, effectiveness is related with know why. Why we must do that? Why you study now? Why you work? Why I have to work? And why I have to get things done? Any reason? Any meaning? Just for money? Oh, how much money will you make? How much money do you need to make you happy? And how much money do I need to pay for you to make you work? Know why. Anybody talks about it, don't know how. Oh, yo, if there is a technology, iPhone, if I have iPhone, if I have a computer, okay. For example, I can give you the artificial intelligence quantum computer. What will you do? Can you do something by using that kinds of the artificial intelligence quantum computer? If I let you have a very expensive quantum computer, what will you do? Do you have any plan? Do you have any idea? What will you do? From a practical example, probably you don't know much about that, but however, in the WKU, okay, WKU has 3D printer at the makerspace. Anybody know the makerspace? Yeah, please, yeah, right. You're ready. Where is makerspace? Makerspace. Where is makerspace? Do you know? Have you ever heard about the makerspace? Makerspace. Anybody know? Martina, do you know makerspace? Cindy, makerspace. Yeah, who is the iPhone? Who is the iPhone? iPhone, iPhone, who is iPhone? Make a space. Winnie, Liao Ting, Winnie, Rainy, Mason. Okay, good. Okay. So anybody know that the 3D printer at the makerspace in the WKU? Anybody don't know. And why our students or the faculty members or the researchers or STEM members do not use that? Because there is no knowledge about it, how to use that. No, personally, I can do it because I developed those kind of the machines many years ago. Okay, so maybe I can use that. But how about I have no reason? No, why? I have no reason to deal with that kinds of the machine, 3D printer. Do I need to produce some 3D something now? No, there is no reason. There is no why for me. There is no why. No effectiveness. Okay, no effectiveness. So in my definition, management is a process of getting things done effectively, get the right thing to do, and efficiently get things right. Through managing money, managing people. For what? In order to achieve the mutual goals. Mutual goals, okay? Mutual goals between many stakeholders. Oh, absolutely. That is that. That is the process. That is the management. Strategy management is a small part of the management. Small part of the management. And then especially that is related with the planning. Strategy management is mainly talk about planning process, planning function. Okay, good. So this is a general overview, general definitions of the management. Oh, I'm a management teacher. I'm not a finance. I'm not that smart. But Harvard, I am a management. I want to get things done effectively, efficiently by using through the money and the people. Absolutely. So fortunately or unfortunately, okay, situation happens today. Okay. So suddenly our campus shut down. You cannot come out. I cannot step into the campus. I cannot come inside of the campus. I don't know until when. However, okay. Because we can manage this situation. Don't worry. We have 3 strategies. At least I have 3 strategies. This is a second. I have 3 cave, second strategy, 2 cave. Okay, second cave, second strategy. We are well ready. We have a well-established class protocol and the preparation. While another department, I don't know. I don't know what's happening at the outside of the management department. But however, at least the management department, management. So we will have no problem. Okay, we will have no problem. So don't worry, we are doing that. Okay, good. And then, management, definition of the management and the functions management, roles. Why do we need managers? If you took the organizational behavior, maybe you learned about the holacracy. Holacracy means holacracy organization doesn't have any boss. Okay. What will happen? If you do not have a manager, if you do not have a boss, do you want to work? Probably no, because I don't. If I do not have a CJ, I do not work. I love to work. CJ. Manager. We need a manager. And whatever. What the managers are doing. What is their role? Not function, okay? What is their role? Mainly, managers are expected to perform three roles. Three roles. First, interpersonal role. At least if you want to work something, okay, absolutely, you need to meet somebody who are taking responsibility of that kinds of task or process. We call that is a person in charge, PIC, person in charge. Then what if I want to solve my business problem with the logistics department? Whom do I need to contact? Manager, logistics manager. And what if I want to ask about it, what would be happening in the people management and then going back home or something, quarantine? I'd better to contact with the HR manager. What if I have a question about it, the economy affairs or something? Absolutely, manager. And the QA quality manager, HR manager, R&D manager, manufacturing manager. Managers take a lot of interpersonal figurehead, leader, liaison. That means contact point. We need a contact point, okay? We call that is an interpersonal role. Figurehead, leader, liaison, and a networker. Absolutely. Because we cannot control over everybody. Can you control over the 300 people individually? According to the science, according to psychology, okay, human brain has a limitation of this. 7 plus minus 2. We call this is a span of control. We can manage something 7 plus minus 2 tasks. That is 5 to 9. That's our limitation of our brain. If we have more than 9, these things are getting more extrapolating, and we cannot control that kinds of things, out of control. Oh, really? So then, how we can manage more than 9 people? We better to have a manager. Manager has 7 different people. Sub assistant manager has 7 different people, and the section manager has 7. Like that, we set up our hierarchy. That's the reason why we make a hierarchy. Okay. Figurehead, interpersonal role. Absolutely, that's very important management role. Second, information. Do you want to work for a stupid and totally no knowledge leader, manager? No. We expect that the manager know everything. We expect that the manager can help me to address my problem. Manager must be able to monitor, disseminating, and spork, and then he or she must be informative. If I have a question, manager must be answered, right? Absolutely. I need some knowledge. I need to learn something. When can I learn from that? Manager. Okay. So we expect that the managers are smart, knowledgeable, informative. Okay. Finally, managers. The biggest and the most important function of the manager is decision making. Whenever you encounter a dilemma, whenever you have a problem, okay, so absolutely you need a choice, you need a decision. However, many times you cannot make your decision because you don't have a knowledge, you don't have a power, you don't have any kinds of idea of that kinds of situation. Probably in that case, managers must make a decision. Okay, entrepreneurs, disturbance handlers, resource allocator, negotiator, controller, risk communicator, and boss or the risk manager. They should make a choice. They should make a decision. If they do not make a decision, who can make a decision? If there is no decision, what can you do? What is the worst decision in the world? No decision is the worst decision. Bad decision, okay. No decision is the biggest troublemaker. If you do not make a decision, get out. If somebody do not make a decision, if your boss do not make a choice, kill him. If you want to survive, kill the boss. Kick them out. That's necessary. Really. So that's our word, business word. Business is performing the work. If somebody do not perform as a manager, okay, if somebody do not take a role of the interpersonal information or the decision laws, and she or he can take that kinds of the authority, kill them. If you cannot kill him, leave away. It's okay. We can find another job. We can find another thing. Okay. You don't need to serve for those kind of the stupid manager. They are not manager. Because they do not perform the management. Okay. However, same word to you. If you cannot take the role of the management, you cannot stay there. Work hard, work smart, take a role. Don't be afraid to make a choice. Don't be afraid to make a decision. Anything is okay. You cannot. Okay? Absolutely. Managers love. Managers are not smart, but however, we take a role. We perform our functions. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Okay? And absolutely, in order to perform the management, we need a certain type of the skills, and we will talk about that in next class. Next class. Okay, today I think this is it. This is it. Oh, I'm sorry for this kind of the sudden decisions. Okay, oh, that happens. Okay, however, something is better than nothing. And thank you for your participation today. Okay, so good. That's it. And I will record this tape and then I will share this video with you if you need. Okay, good. That's it. Any question? If you have any question, please leave a message at the WeChat group. Everybody has a WeChat group. Okay, so please let's communicate at the WeChat group. I'm always hang on the WeChat group, so don't worry. Okay, please keep communicating with me. Can you do it? Yes or no? Yeah, type in. Yes or no? Type in. Yeah, thank you. Type in. Okay. Good. Okay, that's it. And yeah, let's keep communicating and let's keep in touch, and we will see what will be happening next week. Okay, good. Thank you. And I will see you next class. Bye.